How do I start my own business?
Being my own brand would be totally legit.
I want to be the next Gary Vee.
My dream is to be on Shark Tank.
I'm just gonna Google it.
I mean, I'm awesome at social media. What could go wrong?
Oh my God.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Learning Curves. Today, I have a very exciting guest, Miss Karla Orozco. Karla is the owner of Hippie Roots Nursery right here in Largo, Florida. We're so excited to have her on the show. I just spent several minutes here discussing her business and learning all about her and her journey into opening up her new nursery, which is located here in Clearwater, Florida, and learning all the reasons why she opened it up. But her nursery is all about functional plants designed to fruit, flower, and grow. And she grows all kinds of actually very exotic plants and different types of fruits, even some types of plants and fruits that you don't see naturally grown here in Florida. So I thought that was really interesting. We had a lot of fun looking through her Instagram page at all the really cool plants that she has in her nursery. So we're going to learn a lot more about Karla. So how are you doing today, Karla? Thanks for coming on the show.
I am grateful to be here with you today. I am so thankful that I can be able to talk to you guys about my passion for growing food and all kinds of stuff.
Well, tell me, Karla, tell my audience how your journey into starting this nursery. Like, what made you want to leave the day-to-day 9-to-5 job to go off on your own?
I guess, my passion began when I was a little girl growing up in Miami with my family. We grew up pretty poor, and so we grew basically everything we ate, and that's where it started. And then as I grew older, it kind of got drifted away from that passion, working at 9-to-5 jobs and, jumping from one job to one job. And I kind of grew tired of that at the ending of 2021, and I decided to launch on my business because, I was tired of working for companies that I was not happy in and not following my passion. So finally said, goodbye to that and decided to go for it and open my business on October 8th of 2021. And I finally opened the doors this year on March 1st on Women's History Month.
I love it. Go, girl.
This year. And it's been a roller coaster ride, but it's been a good roller coaster ride. And, I'm thankful that I get to share my knowledge with people about the importance of growing your own food. And during the pandemic, because I grew a lot of food, I was able to share with so many family members, and I was able to feed many family members because I grew avocados, mangoes, papayas, jabuticaba, sapodilla, you name it, everything. And that's what made me, get to this position today.
I love that. You were saying that there were several friends of yours that you were really close with that had underlying conditions,
Yes.
were definitely scared to go out.
Yes.
And you were able to help provide for them and their families, and probably not only to, provide them food, but actually healthy food that probably gives them lots of vitamins and
Yes.
nutrients to probably help them maybe not get as sick if they
Yes.
did get sick.
Yes, and everything that that made me very happy because I was able to feed over 50 family members due to the fact that I was able to grow all this kind of food at my home. And including friends that had underlying conditions, they were, afraid to go anywhere where, they were going to be exposed to the disease that was, caused the pandemic for us. And I was grateful enough to grow so much food in abundance that I was able to share it with all of them, and including people I didn't even know. They were able to share it with them as well. So it makes me happy.
I love that. So, talk to me a little bit about some of the types of plants that you have at your nursery. I know it's very unique. There's a big trend right now,
Yes.
and the plants are really becoming very popular, and also I think people are getting more interested in actually learning how to grow plants. And I know, like you can see some of the plants in my studio. I never had a really green thumb, but I just took an interest in it because kind of a cool trend. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to try again and start bringing some plants around. And it's actually been quite enjoyable to. I'm finally taking care of them where they're not dying all the time, which is good.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, it's beautiful that, I always thought to myself, why do I always go into nature and I feel so great? Like, I noticed that the reason why I love plants, it's just a form of therapy for you. That's why it feels good to grow plants. Not only do they provide good oxygen for you, it's beneficial in many ways. It's just beautiful, and I love that.
It absolutely is. And now you are growing things like mango, plantains.
Yes.
Talk to me about some of those things that you're growing that we might not see here in Florida, but you know how to grow, and you could help somebody come and buy a papaya tree and plant it in their yard.
I grow all kinds of bananas. I am known for the banana girl, being a banana girl. I grow huamoa, which is a Hawaiian plantain. I grow rhino horn plantain. I grow Cavendish bananas. I grow burro plantain, sweetheart bananas, Mona Lisa banana. I grow the rare AE banana and the Florida Musa variegated banana. I also grow exotic fruit trees like Jaboticaba, which is a grape that literally grows on the bark of the tree, and it's magnificent when it's like in its mature state. You see the berries all over the bark of the tree, and it's just majestic. It's a big time showstopper, but I love them. I also grow a miracle berry. Miracle berry is the kind of berry that when you eat it, it changes the taste of sour lemons into sweet. So all you have to do is squeeze this lemon into water, and it tastes like a sweet lemonade.
Wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Natural sweetener.
Yeah, it's a natural sweetener. And the reason I came about this tree was when my mother was diagnosed with cancer, she had to go through the whole chemotherapy, and I was looking for nature. Nature. I know nature provides for us in magnificent ways. And I ended up sitting in a class in Homestead, Florida, and this man, he was from South Africa, he was talking to us about miracle berries, and I sat there, and I couldn't believe my eyes when this berry, you taste it, and just up to an hour, it changes your taste. Like anything sour would taste sweet. So I brought it over to my mother, and she couldn't believe it, and made her happy, so it made me happy. And now I carry the fruit tree, and I introduce it to many people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And all these trees can grow fine right here in Florida?
Yeah, they all can grow here in Florida. And they do well. Because we live in a subtropical climate,
Right.
They do excellent. There are some needs to protect them when we do get our cold fronts, but they're growing and flourishing in my yard right now.
Yeah.
So I can vouch for them.
I guess with some of the areas where these types of plants and fruits are, that their natural habitat, just like Florida has its rainy season, and so does, Nicaragua, where you're from, and Costa Rica, and all those things. Maybe not quite as bad as it rains there, because it rains really hard there with the rainforest and everything. And then the dry season, where you don't get a lot, so you would need to be able to survive in those types of atmospheres.
Yes. Yeah. They're amazing. Their plants are incredible. They always teach me something new. Some plants can be divas where they don't like the climate here, and other plants can be vigorous and grow like crazy big bush trees, So it all depends on which plant.
Yeah.
They just show me something new every time. But besides growing fruits and vegetables, I grow a lot of exotic plants, and my passion and drive for plants, I'm on the lookout for something new. And customers and everybody always teaches me something new too. So if they come from like Maine, or they come from some other side of the world, or they were in Switzerland and they talk to me about plants, and I'm always like writing it down and reading about this plant until I know about it and where I can get it, and I'll have it in my nursery.
Oh, nice.
Because I love them so much.
So always trying to learn something new about a different type of plant that you can
Yeah.
bring into your world.
Yeah, always, always. I love and am passionate about them. So definitely you always see something new there. And you know, everything that I carry, I can talk about it because I grow it myself and I've grown it for a long time, and you know, I learn about them too. I go everywhere to learn about these plants, including encyclopedias. They've been my best friend for a long time.
I remember encyclopedias.
Yeah, they're my best friend. I read them like it's my Bible.
Yep. Lots of information on plants, and I do remember that.
Yeah, I'm a book reader when it comes to plants. It's definitely something I wanna inform myself 1,000%, just so I have good knowledge about them.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love that. At CEA Marketing, we take your business, your passion, and your why, and we sell it. If you're unsure where to start marketing your company, CEA Marketing is here to help. Our team at CEA has tons of experience and top-notch training, which helps you take all the stress and confusion out of marketing your own business. After years of working with large companies like Pulte Homes, the Outback Bowl, and Metro Places, we guarantee the successful implementation of a marketing strategy. And then you also had told me in your, like at your house, in your neighborhood, that you have a neighborhood garden. Want to tell us a little bit
Yes.
about the neighborhood garden? I think that's wonderful.
So I love growing neighborhood gardens because, again, during the pandemic, it showed me how important it is to grow your food. And I realized that a lot of people didn't have that privilege to, you know, grow their own food. So what I started doing was neighborhood gardens where I grow collard greens, mustard greens, tomatoes, peppers, all kinds of mangoes, sapodilla trees. And so people are free to come in my yard and pick what they need. And, you know, that makes me happy. It makes me happy to share. Besides growing food and knowing that I have that gift, it makes me happier to see people benefit from it.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
It gives a sense of community, and people can, you know, learn and appreciate more about that.
Yeah.
Do you think that during the pandemic, do you think more people got into growing their own food?
Absolutely.
Is that something that you saw?
Yeah, I feel like I also told many people that it's so important. These moments actually taught me that the importance of honestly growing your food and surviving on your land as well if you ever needed to. And so because I said those words, a lot of people were like, "Can you help me grow a garden in my yard?" And I'm like, absolutely. Anything that I can do to help somebody, you know, be self-sustainable, I'm willing to do that.
What's some advice that you would give to somebody that would be interested in starting starting a garden to grow their own food?
Go all out. Go all out when it comes to growing food. Whatever it is that you like to eat, it's what I suggest people growing. Like if you like lemons, put that in your garden. You can even grow it on a container, and it's very easy. You just got to remember to water it more often than you would if it's in the ground. But my advice is honestly, anything that you like to eat, it's important to grow because we live in Florida. We can grow anything. And I've read David the Good. If you ever read David the Good, he talks about how you can grow all kinds of food here in Florida. Anything. You can grow anything.
Is there anything that you need to do to prep your yard to get ready for this garden?
Yes. So when I started the neighborhood garden, it was just grass there, and it kind of would flood. So I had to till it. I do the old school tilling, which you grab this pole and you just kind of move the ground around. And so I cleaned that out and I spaced it out, and then I added my organic compost soil into that, and then I started planting my seeds. And then I ended up removing a cypress tree, so I added some mulch on the perimeter to kind of keep all the good nutrients inside, and that's how I ended up prepping it and giving it all the love that it needed. Compost is definitely something that I do a lot with my vegetables and my food. And also, I also add mushroom compost because always they love that organic matter. Any vegetables that you see thriving, it's on all that organic matter that comes from the earth.
Oh, nice. Nice. I was going to ask another question on that. I forget what it was with the garden. You said that most of them, you start with just a seed and
Yes.
plant, like not just put a plant in already.
No, and especially pigeon peas, things that I know that grows fast. I start with a seed and I put them directly in the ground, and I just remember to water it every night and every morning. And I do that for about 2 weeks until I see it germinate. And then when I see it germinate, I kind of give it a break. And then I go back to watering every night and every morning. So I'll do it for 1 week, every night, every morning. And then I stop for 1 week. And then I do it again every night and every morning. And then that helps it boost the plant. It also kind of lets the plant know that water is not coming every day. So come on, hurry up and grow.
Right.
Because plants know what we're doing. They recognize the pattern. So me being a grower, I've seen that happen. They get super happy when I'm coming there with the hose and watering them, and they get a little sad if I don't water them.
Oh.
But it's important to when you first grow a garden that you help establish that, whether you start with a plant that you put in the ground, you help establish it by watering it every night, at least for 2 weeks until they get established and the roots are strong enough. And I can talk all day about that.
No, but that's great advice. I love that. Makes me want to start a garden. I'm just afraid I would
Yay.
forget to water them.
I would love to help you start a garden.
Maybe one day I'll do that for sure. I think we talked about that.
Yeah.
I like the exotic plants though.
I do too.
I love exotic plants.
They are majestic.
Anything
Exotic
with like
plants.
bright colors,
Oh.
my favorite.
I know, me too. All plants are exotic and majestic. They all do something beautiful. Have you ever seen an Australian fern tree? The Australian fern tree, it's this fern, and it just grows pretty tall. It's like one of the tallest fern trees I've ever seen. But one thing I noticed with them is like one day I had to cut mine because it was getting too big where I planted it. And when I cut it, it was like this gorgeous pattern in the Australian fern tree. So what I ended up doing was making coasters because the pattern was just so magnificent. It had like a weird pattern, like if somebody drew on it. And it was just
neat.
beautiful. And the things that nature offers you is just majestic.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is. I love when I go to Costa Rica or any exotic country. My favorite thing to do is to walk around and take pictures of all the flowers and exotic plants and everything.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big time explorer. I've explored Florida. I don't think anyone has explored Florida as much as I have. I've driven all over the parts of Florida just to see what grows here in Florida, just to see what's doing good in Florida, So if I go to the Keys and I see a certain type of mango that doesn't do well up here, it's just beautiful to see all the things that do grow in all parts of Florida, including bananas, which I didn't even think they grew all the way north, but they do. And all kinds of bananas can grow up there as well.
I think, isn't it that we have a banana tree out there, don't we, Ennis?
Yep,
Is that
that's a rhino horn plantain.
Yes.
I saw it outside and I was like, ooh, rhino horn plantains growing out
Yeah.
here. Beautiful.
They're really pretty. This big thing come down and you just get one banana, I think, comes out of it.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you'd get a bunch of bananas all together, but that one just grows one.
Yeah, it gives you that one bunch, and then what it'll do is the banana will lean forward, and then that's when it's giving it all its water, and that's when you know that you need to cut it, and the banana plant is done for the whole season. And so that's why it puts out other shoots, because that's the next banana that's going to produce a banana fruit.
So do you cut it when it's folded like that so it turns into the banana?
Yeah, so you cut the plant, and then you cut the bananas off, and you put your bananas to the side, and then you just, I recompost my bananas.
Oh,
into
so there
the
is more
bananas.
than one banana in that thing?
Yeah.
Oh. Like I just
banana
thought it was
plant.
like one banana.
Yeah, the banana plant would just put one shoot, and then that banana plant is already done. So once the banana leans forward, that means that the banana is ready to be picked. or you can pick them green. I usually pick them green and cook them as well, or I wait until they ripen,
Right.
which makes me happy too.
Interesting. I've never ate any of my bananas before.
Oh, I love them. I love them so much. All kinds of bananas.
Maybe I have to try that. Tell me a little bit about, you've been open in business now for March, April, May,
3 months.
a couple months.
Yeah.
So how's it going for you?
It's going great. I feel like a lot of people that are now knowing who I am, and when they come to the nursery and I say, "Good morning, Hippie. Welcome to Hippie Roots."
I love that.
You know,
Yep.
people are excited, and not only about that, I feel like people feel the love and care I put into the plants, and also the fact that they are able to interact with somebody and talk about the plants that they're buying. You know, a lot of people have a lot of questions because a lot are just getting into growing plants and fruit trees and all kinds of stuff. So I love talking about anything that's going outside the door because those are little babies that I've cared for
Yes.
a long time. And so I want to make sure that people are not only educated on and, you know, the plants that they're taking home. I want them to know the care that it's going to entail into taking this plant home with you. And I always tell my customers, I say, you can text me, you can call me. That is something I'm available 24/7.
Yeah, what's going on with my plant?
And I love it when people send me photos
Yeah.
and they say, look how happy this is. Like the other day, I had a customer buy a cactus, and the cactus was getting ready to bloom. She said, on my way home, look what bloomed. And it was the cactus. She sent me a photo. And I said, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Like I had just repotted this and gave it all this love, and now it's blooming like that. And it just made me so happy to see. But she followed all the instructions, and that's why these things do well, you know? Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. And when people come into my nursery, I love to talk about all the plants and exotic things that I have growing there. I don't only just have fruit trees and shrubs, and they're all different kinds. I have like a huge diverse of plants, like from all over the place. They come from either Indonesia or Ecuador, Nicaragua. Some of them I have a coconut orchid that comes from Nicaragua. And it's a beautiful orchid. And when it blooms, it actually smells like coconut.
Oh,
it's
nice.
beautiful. It's a gorgeous, and I think it's on my Instagram as well. But I love it. And I love when people come in there and they see everything that I'm growing and everything that I have available there. And they come and ask me, what is this? I've never seen this. And it's a monkey brush vine. And you know, I start talking about it. And, you know, it makes me happy.
That's
Makes
great.
me very happy.
Well, I'm so glad that you found a business that you're in that you're so passionate about. I think in order for people to be happy in life, it's
Yes.
important that they do something that they love.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't love what you do, you know, you're working long hours every single day.
Yes.
So you absolutely have to love it. And, you know, the corporate world, 9 to 5 is not for everyone.
No.
That's what Learning Curves is all about, is we're are a podcast that's for not for everyone, because we talk a lot about, you know, being a small business, what it takes, you know, what are some of the, you know, it's not always fun being a business owner either.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times we go through a lot of different ups and downs, and, you know, it's a bit of a roller coaster, but it's worth it in the end, because we know that we love what we're doing. So that's what keeps us getting back in and trying every single day.
I agree. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster, but I'm doing what I love, and that's what matters, you know, and I have a true passion for what I grow and the teachings that I give on to, you know, the future generation as well, because a lot of young kids come to my nursery that actually go to school with my daughter, and it makes me so happy to know that they're also getting into the business world and to the plant business world, and it just fulfills my heart to know that our next generation is also learning something that's going to be valuable in their future.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
are very right about that. It's neat that they can come in and see, you know, these different types of businesses pop up.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I loved about the pandemic, believe it or not, the cool thing that came out of that was so many different innovative thinking new businesses. I've interviewed so many different, men and women that have started companies during that time period. And I just love hearing their story. I'm just seeing how happy they are,
Yes.
seeing how successful they are. And, I'm really looking forward to your journey, and we're going to stay in contact because I'm,
Yes.
want to see how well you do. I'm sure this is something that there are a lot of plant stores. And like we mentioned, that is a big trend, but I don't think there's anything like what you do, which is really cool.
Aw, thank you so much.
Yeah, it truly is. And tell everybody again, where can they find you? Where's your store located?
So I'm located at the Coffee Mill on 13128, and it's on India Rocks Road in Largo, Florida. And I'm inside. I'm tucked away in the back. I'm right next to the Emporium and right next to Onona Church.
Okay,
So yeah.
great. And then you also have an Instagram page.
I have an Instagram page and a Facebook page, and I also have a website where they can find me as well. And it's Hippie Roots Nursery. And hippie is HIPPIE.
I love that. We're going to put all the links so people can find you and the
you.
show notes of the podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here with you today.
We appreciate it. Do you have any last piece of advice or anything that you want to share?
Yes, grow your own food, people. Grow your own food. It's important, and I feel like it's something that you can take on for a long time. Even if you have to container garden, it's important that we learn this skill because it's something that we can't forget. We can't forget how to grow our own things at home. Be self-sufficient.
That's great advice. That's really good. You're going to see me with my new trees in my yard here soon.
Yay! I'm so happy.
We can talk about my journey and how well I'm doing with all that.
Oh my God!
I know I got
I'm
my
so happy.
office plant figured out, but now I got to get my home stuff figured out next. So
And I'm excited to help you.
yes, I can't wait for that.
I will create a jungle.
Yay! I really am excited about that. It's going to be great. Well, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for coming on today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really am grateful for today, always.
And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Learning Curves. Thanks a lot and have a good day.
Second Soul Studios is a full-service production studio with capabilities for photo, video, podcasting, editing, co-working, and more. Our photo video studio has a number of different backdrop choices and props to choose from. We also have a gourmet kitchen set, or if you're an upstart podcaster, you'll love our 4-person podcast studio. So what are you waiting for? Visit secondsoulstudios.com to book a tour today.